Hi everyone, it's Cinder again. I am just making a follow-up video to my history. Kind of ADD sometimes, so I do jump around from thought to thought to thought, and it was a very compounded version of my history, so I left out a lot. So I just want to clarify a few things, answer a few questions and whatnot. So the first thing I have on my list here is, how did you know you were a girl? How did I know I was a girl? Well, that's a difficult question. It really had to be more, not that I knew I was a girl, but I knew I wanted to be a girl, from sexual fantasies, from dressing up and feeling great and really loving how I looked, to the dysphoria of dressing up and not looking completely female, to the envy of other girls, which I had a huge amount of, just, looking at other girls and being like, I really wish I was them, not for the social privilege, not for anything, but I just want to look like them. Like, I need to look like them. Like, I am one of them. Why don't I look like them? I mean, a lot of trans people have stories of, asking their parents in their growing up, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, be like, oh, mommy, when am I going to grow my boobs and vagina and stuff like that? Obviously didn't have that I know of, but there was always that want, need. I mean, if my parents watch this, and I've told them this, and I've told other people, when I was in driver's ed, I made a list, because it was boring as hell. I made a list, reasons I want to be a girl. And it was 20 things of reasons I wanted to be a girl. And my parents found this, they questioned it, I kind of repressed and said, it's nothing, and threw it away. Bad choice. So it was a need, it was a want, and it's a sustained year-over-year want. Even if I repress it and try to make it go away, it does not. So the question, how did you know I was a girl, is the same question as, how do you know you're a guy? How do you know you're a girl? You just are. I just am. That's just who I am. There's no better answer. I don't have a better answer. It's just, I feel that in my soul, in who I am, in the deepest part of me, that's who I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. Okay. I did mention that, it started out majorly as sexual. How did it turn from sexual to non-sexual? This is going to get a little graphic. Not too graphic. Of course, when it was sexual, I would, of course, masturbate. After I masturbated, usually there's a coming down, you're not interested in the things that you were interested while you were, horny or whatever. I still wanted to dress up. I still wanted to be a girl. It was not, it was sexual, and then a release, and then still wanted to do it. So it wasn't entirely sexually based. It was just a way to bring it out, because it wasn't acceptable to want to be a girl. Like being gay, okay. Liking the stuff I was watching, okay. Wanting to actually be a girl, be a tranny, nope, that was not acceptable, and I was not okay with that. So I tried to cover it up with that kind of stuff. So once I started enjoying and thinking about this stuff non-sexually, wanting to be a girl, dreaming about, wearing a nice dress, or, putting on makeup or having long hair, and it was non-sexual, then it kind of keyed off, there's something else here. This is not just a fetish. This is something that's really deeply ingrained in me, and something that I really want. So this brings us to the next point. Why did I decide to transition? Now that's a loaded phrase. Why did I decide to transition? Yes, I decided to do it, but was it really a decision? It's a necessity. Now I'm gonna share a little bit of my boyfriend's story. He had depression a lot, and the only thing that cured it was transitioning. And for a lot of trans people, it's the same way. Some of them are suicidal. And the only thing that cures it is transitioning. Now, not every trans person transitions, but the majority of them do. Now, you don't have to be suicidal to be trans. I wasn't suicidal, never suicidal about this kind of stuff. Very sad about it, very depressed even, but never suicidal. So, why did I decide to transition? Because I needed to. Because there was no other way. It was either I wait until the need and who I was destroyed part of my soul to transition, or do it. Just do it. And I didn't need any other reason than it's something that I wanted to do, that I needed to do. I didn't need to go see a therapist and say to them, I make sure I'm trans. I'm really, whatever. Because I had doubts. I still have doubts sometimes. And they're getting less and less because I'm happier and happier. But I still had doubts. I still have them. It's not, there's no science. It's a feeling. You kind of have to just let it go and then just work with it. So I decided to transition because I needed to, because I wanted to. And that's good enough. How far am I into transition? Well, I am 4 months on hormone therapy. So I'm taking estrogen and anti-androgen, which is a testosterone blocker. I take 200 milligrams of testosterone or anti-androgen testosterone blocker twice a day. So every 12 hours, I take 100 milligrams, and I take 4 milligrams of estrogen or estradiol twice a day. So 2 milligrams twice daily. Doing that for 4 months. I am do-it-yourself. So I am doing this without a doctor. Now, I have had blood tests run. I have had, safety measures put in place where I'm not in a dangerous place. I'm not, having risks. I, drink tons of water to counteract possible side effects from the anti-androgen, which is dehydration. Monitor myself. I last checked my estrogen level is actually low. And I'm working right now, as anyone who's watching this and is trans should be. I'm working on getting to a doctor and getting into an actual clinic space. They don't really care usually if you're do-it-yourself. They really want you to be safe as possible. So, they kind of encourage you to come in and do their whole thing. So I'm working with someone in D.C. called Whitman Walker and going through their program to kind of get on hormone therapy through them. And I already have had, as I said, blood tests and all that kind of stuff done. I've had intake therapy appointments, so they've, made sure I'm not crazy, at least not in the wrong kind of crazy. So everything's fine there. So I just got to transfer all that stuff over to Whitman Walker, and I'll be put on hormone therapy, and everything will be great. But for now, I still have the medicine I need to make myself feel better and look the way I need to. Now, I came out, as I said, previous videos, September 13th, September 11th, something like that. And I could go back and look, but I haven't yet. So it's been almost 5-6 months. I can't do math. And it's really been awesome. It's really been a roller coaster of emotions between, breaking up with my girlfriend, to telling my parents, telling my friends, going full time, which means going, dressing and acting the part all the time. It's really been a crazy experience, but one that's really changed my life, and one that I couldn't say it's for the worse. Let's see. I think I have one more thing to talk about. Support groups. If you are questioning, I will say 2 things to you. First one, no one can ever tell you that you're trans or you're not trans. The only person who can tell is you. There are a few key things that kind of point towards it. One is wondering if you're trans. Normal people do not wonder if they're trans. They don't. It just doesn't happen. They're not like, hey, am I trans? It's weird. I don't feel, I feel an incongruity. Words just escape me. I feel a mismatch between my gender and my sex. Most people don't notice that. Most people don't say anything about that. And reasonably so. No one can tell you if you're trans. If you are questioning, find a support group. Talk to them. Talk to a therapist. Talk to someone who knows. Go on Reddit, for God's sakes. Go to Ask Transgender. Ask the people there if your feelings are really valid. And what they'll say is, they're your feelings. Of course they're valid. Being trans is hard. It's no cakewalk. But if you feel as I felt, and if you felt as other people do, transitioning and coming out and being who you are is worth it in every way, and will only improve your life once you accept who you are and who you want to be. As always, if anyone has questions or anything they need to talk about, feel free to send me a message or comment or whatever, and I will do my best to talk to you. Yeah. And hopefully this is the start of many videos to come. And hopefully you'll see a lot more of me. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Bye.